Alright, what's up guys, it's Zero here, and today I'm here to recap my run through Autumn CS. So, it was yesterday from the time of recording. Whether this goes up the day after or a day after that is completely decided by if I'm lazy or not, but regardless. So this day one of Autumn CS, like all the CSs, are 2-deck format. You got 2-deck Conquest, got one with both. I decided to bring clan-wise Kagero and Bermuda. So, the cargo list I decided to bring was Blade Master because I did not test post nerf the cross, nor do I think it is good post nerf. But that's besides the point. So I brought Blade Master. There's a list, and then my other Bermuda list was Mir, not duos or Loris, but Mir. So these two decks were the decks I decided to bring. They both performed more or less well how I wanted to. I did have the option to swap into other decks within those clans, but I never saw the need to, so I just played both these decks for every single round. So yeah, so we'll recap our rounds one by one. I did end up streaming all my games round 3 onwards, so round 3, round 4, round 5, and round 6 were all on stream. So if you want to watch those games, I'll leave the link to the VOD down below. But when I do the deck profile, I probably will just put those games in as the games to show, so you go just wait for that. In my round 1 and round 2, I did not stream, because I wasn't streaming during that time yet, so I'll recap those. I'll obviously recap the rounds after that as well. So without further ado, let's begin. So round 1, my opponent played, Aquaforce and Gear Chronicle. This round was complete and utter robbery. Game 1, Kagero. I played Kagero first against Aquaforce. I pushed him to 4 on the previous turn. Then on that turn, I decided to stride. I popped both his intercepts. First swing in, 5th damage was a heal. I didn't check any triggers, so the Vanguard pushed to 5. The other rear column didn't hit because I didn't have the scaling booster to go with it, unfortunately. So no guards checked there. So I'm like, oh, okay. He checked a bunch of BGs, so it should be fine, right? I can just kill him in the following turn because I wasn't dying yet on that turn because I was at relatively safe damage with double intercept up and enough guards in hand to not die to like a Lambros or anything. But he decided to flip 2 heals to go back down to 3 on that turn. So there goes that game. I lost basically the 3 heals, and then on the game after that, since I knew he was forced to play Gears, I decided, oh, I'll just play the easy matchup first. I decided to play Bermuda, and I wasn't wrong. It was easy until he won the game with Mystery Flare. So sure is fun losing to that card. So I lost 0-2 in my first round to 3 heals against Aquaforce and Mystery Flare against Gear Chronicle. Not very fun. That was actually bullshit. It was complete robbery. I absolutely did not think I deserved it. I absolutely did not think I should have lost either of those games. But what can you do, right? Vanguard 0 rewards very skillful plays and very skillful players, right? Good game, good game. All right, so that was round 1. Round 2, I played against Kagero and Link Joker. I never played against a Link Joker deck because I 2-0'd his Kagero deck. His Kagero deck was post-nerf the cross, so he was playing the cross without the Grom and after the cross nerfs. Game 1, I played Blade Master against the cross, nothing special. Game 2, Bermuda against the cross, nothing special. Just easy 2-0 because the cross just isn't that good in my opinion after the nerf. So pretty easy 2-0. Game 3, I played against Bermuda and Aquaforce. He played Aquaforce both games. Again, this was another 2-0. He played Magnolia with Aquaforce strides. Pretty funny, if you ask me. That was honestly pretty free because I don't know what Magnolia is supposed to do to help with the deck. So pretty free there. Got clapped. Easy peasy 2-0. Nothing much else to say. Round 3, or actually no, that was my round 3. Round 4, I played against Kagero and Bermuda. I played against the cross twice, so this was another 2-0. Game 1, Kagero against the cross, or Blade Master against the cross, I just won. Nothing too special there. Game 2, he 6 damage healed against Bermuda, and then he re-legioned, putting 3 heals back into his deck. He flipped like all his heals afterwards and decked himself out. So yeah, I don't blame him per se, just because he needed the heals to actually live, but definitely should have seen what would have happened by putting that many triggers back into your deck. So definitely a little bit sus, but we will take those W's. We will take when your opponent throws the game, right? Easy peasy. So that was an easy peasy 2-0. Next round was against Bermuda and Neo Nectar. So, this was not a 2-0, so this was a 2-1. So, first game, Kagero against Neo Nectar. He was playing Musketeers with Strides, so it wasn't actually Asha, it was Musketeers. 2-0, Neo Nectar needs a board to play. Blade Master doesn't give you a board ever, so Blade Master did Blade Master things. Blade Master clapped Neo Nectar. And then game 2, I played Bermuda and Neo Nectar. This matchup honestly is pretty not bad for Neo Nectar because Jingle Flower forces you to commit boosters to hit things. But he never strode into it once, and I lost because I never drew an intercept. Pass. I remember I drew 1 to ride, 1 to call, and then I never drew an intercept after that. So I lost that game, and then afterwards we played the Bermuda Mirror. I was playing Mirror, he was playing Loris, but he misrode. He rode like a rear guard. He rode the rear that has on hit. He rode the grade 3 that like on hit bounces something to call it back down, call something else back down. He misrode. I sacked a bunch of triggers. He didn't sack too many triggers. He was on the wrong Vanguard, so I won basically purely off of that. Pretty nice there. So yeah, so that was a 2-1 after winning the Bermuda Mirror. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Let's find the card. I do remember which card he rode. He rode this card. Yeah. And as you can see, this card is not amazing. It's a Vanguard skill that isn't an on-stride skill, so pretty whatever card. Sucks to be him. He misrode, but yeah, we will take those, as most people say, we will take those. And then finally, in my last round, I played against Narukami and Gear Chronicle. These decks suck. I think these decks are terrible right now in the current meta. So it was actually a very easy 2-0 for this one. He played Narukami both games. Game 1, Blade Master. I played Blade Master. I think Blade Master is better Narukami or better Vanquisher, and it showed. I won. I won relatively convincing as well. Kagero claps. Big surprise, right? Kagero claps Vanquisher because it's straight up the better deck. And then afterwards, Bermuda against Vanquisher. I think this matchup's also like horrendously terrible for Vanquisher. So because all the resistance stuff you can have. So another easy 2-0 in the last round. And you would think, damn, Tsura, you went 5-1, right? You had to make top cut there. But funny thing there, in my very because there was exactly one extra person that that would make to make top 16. So there's three XOs, so three people who did not lose by the end of this, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 X1s. So 14 X1s plus 3 XOs, meaning 17 players. So one person's not making it. Turns out I didn't make it because my one loss to the guy in round 1 just made my tiebreaker horrendously terrible. So I didn't make top cut, and I was 1 spot off. So technically I did make top cut because I hit the X1 needed to make it. But my one tiebreaker was terrible because the guy I lost to round 1 lost immediately after beating me twice. Or lost twice immediately after beating me. So shoutouts to that guy for robbing me by sacking and then losing immediately afterwards, making my tiebreaker horrendous, and not letting me make top cuts. So thanks, round 1 opponent. You really screwed me over. So overall, I think the meta right now is like, yeah. So that was my run. My thoughts on the meta right now. It's relatively. I think everything's relatively around the same power level in terms of the good decks. I think like just like initial thoughts from this. I think like the 3 best decks right now are like Bermuda, Kagero, and Aquaforce. I didn't have Aquaforce, so I decided to bring the other 2 decks that I thought were good. And then you have random breakouts like Neo Nectar being annoying to make some decks annoying. So like I think that the format's in a relatively good place right now. Just everything's really low power level. So yeah. But my overall thoughts tournament, I was not very happy because I was the 17th. I was placed 17th despite making 5-1. And it was all because my opponent decided my 1 round loss was lost to a bad player that sacked me and then lost immediately afterwards. And that determined my tiebreaker, and that's why I didn't make it. Actually, very sad. That was my run. Hopefully, I can do better next time if I even decide to qualify next time. Because if I'm just gonna waste 2 weeks of my life qualifying and then getting sacked out of it anyways, what's the point, right? But yeah, that's it. That's it for this video. That's it for the recap. Again, if you want to watch the games, there's a lot of downtime in between, so you have to like skip in between the games if you just want to watch those. I'll leave the VOD down below. Although the VODs do expire, so it'll be there for like 2 weeks, but I will have the majority of those games in the deck profiles for Mirror and Blade Master, so you won't miss them even if you don't watch this video within the first like 2 weeks, I think, of the VOD going up. So yeah. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.